Hey there, my name is Blaine, and if you're a woman who has ever been frustrated with guys and how a man's behavior often makes you want to rip your hair out, then stop everything you're doing right now. Because over the next few minutes, I'll explain how easy it is to make a man go head over heels for you simply by stirring his number one desire. And trust me, it's not what you think. Single or married, it doesn't matter. This method is so simple and powerful, it'll make men dream about you more than dogs dream about food and toys. You'll be shocked at how simple it is to make a man go wild for you. To have him commit and bond emotionally with you beyond your wildest dreams. Just like paper clips stick to a magnet, men will latch onto you in ways you never thought possible. Fair warning though. This information will not be online forever and may not even be here in a few hours from now. So pay close attention and discover how my foolproof step-by-step formula will turn any man into a volcano of passion for you. Let me ask you, have you ever experienced a crazy array of emotions for a guy, wondered what he thought about you or if your relationship would last? Did you ever hope to hear back from him but he never responded? Have you ever dealt with jealousy, trust, anxiety, or frustration problems? Do you just wish you could prevent all of this from happening and get rid of these problems forever? Your previous understanding of men is about to pop like a bursting balloon because you're about to swing open the door of a man's mind and peek inside his mental room, discovering the most private thoughts and feelings he has about women, about you, and why he behaves the way he does. It's a simple and painless solution to the complicated and painful problems you've had with men. And my friend Mike is a perfect example, so I'm going to share his story with you now since it's important for you to hear it. I think I'm losing my mind, Mike told me as we chatted over drinks one Saturday night. It had been a while since we hung out. Our hometown bar in Bethesda, Maryland held many prior memories, but that night I'll never forget. Mike was a good friend of mine for many years, so to hear him say that made me move uncomfortably in my seat. Strange. Awkward. Silence. What was he talking about? This party animal guy who was never bothered by anything, never committing to women and successful in his career, suddenly shares with me he's going nuts. Why? Feeling obligated to help my friend, I asked him what the deal was. I said, do you care to elaborate on that statement at all, or... You could see it on his face. Intense excitement, a crazy look of joy, like he just struck gold in the Old West. A look of immense power and confidence. His eyes looked like knives, piercing through you with razor-sharp happiness. Seconds felt like hours, and then he finally blurted out, "I'm moving to Washington tomorrow." I laughed when he told me that and said, "Dude, that's like 25 minutes from here. Is this what you're losing your mind over? More importantly, why the hell are you telling me now? How long have you been planning to move for?" What he said next made me literally choke on my food, and I coughed up some of the drink I was gulping down. "I'm not moving to Washington, D.C. I'm moving to Washington State," he said. "What?" I yelled. "What about your new job promotion? You've worked so hard in the last year. What about all your friends here? Explain." I was at a total loss for words. It was as if someone just turned my body inside out like a twisted, ripped-up sock about to get thrown in the washing machine. I was curious as to why my buddy would throw such a curveball at everyone he knew here in our hometown. Before I had a chance to say anything else, he interrupted my thoughts by showing me a picture. "What is this? I mean, who is this?" I mumbled. Mike smiled and looked even more excited now, as if he just won the lottery. With a massive grin on his face, he said, "Her name is Kate. She's who I'm moving to Washington with." Well, let me tell you, I nearly lost it. I said, "Are you out of your mind? Is she your girlfriend? How long have you been with this woman? How do you know she's not a serial killer?" Mike's response was even more shocking. "She's my fiancée," he said. I thought it was a joke, but the look on Mike's face proved otherwise. I couldn't believe it. Never in a million years would I have thought he'd settle down with one woman, especially this woman. "What's so special about her?" I asked. "She isn't even half as good-looking as the rest of the women you have dated." He carried on as if he didn't even hear the question. Mike was a different man. I didn't even know who I was talking with. Since I last saw him, some kind of magnetic force, a spell if you will, had been put on him by his now fiancée, and I was annoyed. Annoyed because I secretly wanted a woman who made me this happy too, and it seemed like this woman just understood Mike. She clearly knew what to do and say at any given time because Mike was completely different. But how did he change so fast? I went home that night thinking, what the just happened? He phoned me the next day, apologized for the surprise, and promised to meet up again in the future. Dumbfounded, I decided to do something about this entire situation. I decided to play detective, and months later, I went to visit Mike and Kate. The trip was great, but in the back of my mind, I had such a hard time believing this guy was about to get married. Here was a guy who swore he would never commit, half honest at best, and self-absorbed if I had to say so. And now he seemed like the most honest, easygoing, and mature dude around. Kate was all smiles and laughs during my visit. It's like I arrived the day after their honeymoon. To this day, it still shocks me what kind of impression she has had on Mike. But as I learned towards the end of my trip, Kate was a master at understanding how men behave, think, and act. Heck, the more I talked to her, the more I wanted to marry her. This woman really understood men. I remember joking around with them, asking if she had a twin hiding somewhere. And then something happened. Something that changed my life forever. The night before I was to return home, Kate took me aside and told me something which made my heart race and my cheeks turn red. In fact, I looked around as she told me, hoping Mike didn't hear it. She gave me her number and told me to text her privately. My palms went sweaty. My heart was racing. She knew I was really surprised by the whole ordeal, so she offered to answer any questions I had about how it all happened. Over the next few months, the conversations I had with her were eye-opening. I began to compile everything she told me into a folder on my computer I jokingly called attraction stuff. Life was back to normal, except that my sister's birthday was coming up, and she is the most difficult person to buy something for. Gifts don't work, neither do gift cards, and sometimes not even cash. I hate shopping for people like this. But then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I decided to do something unique for my sister. I can't tell you the amount of times she has phoned me at 2 a.m. crying over some guy and babbling about her relationship problems. By fate or coincidence, I decided to give my attraction stuff information to my sister, which Kate had shared with me months earlier. When I gave her the present, she rolled her eyes at me and gave the whatever look, but inside I felt like I gave her the golden key. A key to unlock some dude's mind and heart, physically and emotionally. I truly felt like a superhero. It was an awkward but rewarding feeling. One evening, a few weeks later, I noticed that I had 9 unread text messages, and they were all from my sister. She normally calls, so to see a text message from her made my insides churn. I thought the worst, like her pet rabbit died. When I read her message, my heart went in my throat. It was a night I will never forget, because the next thing I knew, she was hugging me and crying tears of joy, thanking me for my attraction stuff gift. I was momentarily confused because the attraction stuff gift had slipped my mind, but wow, was this ever a shocker. My sister went on to explain everything that happened within her dating life since her birthday. She had gone on multiple dates and they all went extremely well. A few guys were actually calling her back following up for more dates. I never saw her smile so hard. It was an awesome feeling to see her attracting the right kind of men for once. Fast forward 1 year later, and she is now engaged to one of the guys she dated during that time. He honestly seems like someone who would be out of my sister's league, so even I was surprised with the turn of events. I was shocked that this stuff really worked, but over the years I have seen the success with my own eyes, all originally thanks to Kate. Her and Mike still live in Washington and have a couple children now. We still keep in touch, and I always thank her for what she did whenever we chat. And that brings us to today. Once you apply the same baby-proof step-by-step techniques Kate and my sister did, you will understand how men behave and be able to predict their movements. You will go inside a man's mind and know him better than he knows himself, which puts you at a huge advantage. You will experience the honesty you crave from a man without having to ask for it. This leads to an intense emotional connection and mind-blowing romance. Jealousy, insecurity, and worrying will be nothing but a bad, distant memory. No longer will you be pulling your hair out at night, hoping your man will commit and not flake out. You'll experience a man who understands your needs and desires, a man who knows what to say and not to say. You'll have a clear understanding of him and will know if he's worth your time or not. It's as simple as flipping on a light switch, and it doesn't require you to act like someone you aren't. So what's the secret? The main secret is the HR method, or hybrid reflection method. This mind-blowing technique creates an unbreakable emotional connection between you and a man. All successful relationships use this technique regardless of someone's looks or personal situations. And it's been proven to work even if you failed in the past. Forget the past though, because now you have a foolproof step-by-step plan. A few simple steps, and you'll transform yourself into a man's dream. Here's how it works. Ever notice how happy men become when they drink or play video games? That's because drinking causes a rush of chemicals to be released in specific parts of the brain, producing feelings of pleasure and reward. This feeling becomes so addictive that men lose focus and keep heading in the direction of the pleasure. This makes men impulse-driven and emotionally focused. Men chase after what feels and looks good to them. The secret to creating a powerful connection with a man is to fill up his brain with these feel-good feelings. How do you fill a guy's brain with feel-good feelings? Simple. You need to become the source of those feelings, his source of attraction. You become the man's go-to entity for feeling good, and it's super simple with my step-by-step formulas. Here's another example. We've all seen strange and awkward couples in public, be it at the grocery store or the mall, etc. Upon seeing them, you've probably thought, what do they see in each other? Maybe you even laughed. However, that couple was showcasing the power of the HR method, the power of the woman being the feel-good source. While it may have been funny then, now you realize just how powerful this is, because if it can work for them, it can certainly work for you. Look at it this way. Do you enjoy being around people you dislike? Obviously not. Do you enjoy being around people you like and who make you happy? Yes. Therefore, you already understand and agree with these principles. Now you see how cold-shouldered men can suddenly become bursting volcanoes of interest and passion, all because you're this feel-good source for them. Thus, by following my simple steps, you can have a man constantly thinking about you. And when he thinks of you, he'll get massive feel-good waves flowing like a tsunami throughout his body. And that's only the beginning. See, when you start becoming the feel-good source for a man, everything else falls into place. The hybrid reflection method mentioned earlier will have a man bending over backwards to please you. And as a bonus, your worth and value inside a guy's mind skyrockets. This puts you on a pedestal way above other women, making other women disappear completely from his mind. Men will focus on you like a glob of black paint on a white wall. It'll be impossible for him not to think about you. And since men are guardians by nature, this means he'll do whatever it takes to protect you and never let you go. That cold and distant guy will suddenly be by your side, and the best part is, he'll never even realize what you're doing to him. He'll think it's all his own idea. Better yet, you can still be yourself while possessing incredible attraction in a man's eyes. If you're single, this is where the guy will attempt to win your heart and put that ring on your finger. If you're married, your husband will now rock your world like never before, making your honeymoon pale in comparison. And if you're trying to rekindle a lost love with your ex, you'll find that connection much stronger than before. It'll be like comparing a pebble against a boulder. See, when a guy feels good around you, he'll start doing much more of those cute and romantic gestures. He may not know why he's doing them, but it'll feel right to him and he'll want to do them more often. Look, at some point in your life, a man has rejected you, ticked you off, confused you, or made you question your very existence. Perhaps he lied to you and led you on, used you for sex, showed no interest, or worst of all, broke your heart. Maybe you were the one who broke his heart and now you're looking for a way to get him back. Maybe you want a better marriage and are struggling to understand your changed husband. Or maybe you're a single woman who's having a terrible time finding the right guy and it seems like you'll always be alone. So I want you to imagine now how awesome it'll be to truly understand men, knowing what he's thinking and why. Imagine a man that goes the extra mile, surprising you with those sweet moments and sentimental gifts. A guy who takes care of the chores without you nagging him. Imagine a confident man who knows the real meaning of sexy. And what if I told you that by following my step-by-step foolproof methods, you'll get the respect you deserve, he'll show interest in your passions, cook for you, and let you vent your emotions. Imagine a man who makes you a priority and won't turn you into the third wheel of his own relationship. Visualize a man who isn't needy and who'll let you unwind when you need it. Imagine a man who knows how to own up to his own mistakes. Visualize a man who isn't stubborn or selfish. You and I both know men are frustrating to deal with. What you may not know, though, is that emotions can be used to your advantage. Remember the hybrid reflection method? Have you ever seen someone trying to quit smoking? Maybe you went through this yourself. You must have noticed how impossible it seemed to overcome the addiction. That powerful and invisible hold on a person is the same power you will have around a man. In fact, it's so intense that he may start following you around like a baby duck. You may be shaking your head in disbelief, but the truth is the craziest thing out there, and science agrees. Countless studies have been done at various universities and institutions around the globe on the power of emotion and the human brain. More importantly, on the magnetic attraction associated with certain behavior and techniques. Using these proven techniques, you'll know what to do and say at any given time so that men will feel strong waves of passion for you, emotionally and physically. Your love life will no longer hibernate like a bear in the winter. You'll be happier than a newlywed couple and may even have to see a doctor because your cheeks will hurt from smiling so much. This works really well because it's proven science mixed with human psychology, and it's super easy to do, which makes it a no-brainer. Did you know that emotion has been proven to be a neural impulse which moves something or someone to action, prompting automatic reactive behavior? This means that you can guide a man's emotions once you understand why men behave the way they do. You have science on your side and a happy future awaits you. To be successful with men, you must understand everything about men. The same holds true for anything in life. You wouldn't go for a job interview without understanding the background of the business. You wouldn't go into a sports competition unaware of the opposing team's abilities. You wouldn't buy a car without reading about the vehicle. And logically, you shouldn't be in a relationship without understanding how men behave, especially the man you're interested in or already with. Successful women understand and get inside a man's mind. You may be asking yourself, how do I actually do this? How do I get a man to feel great when he is around me? The answer is in the attraction stuff, which I now call source of attraction. Source of attraction will bring you inside the mind of a man, helping you understand everything about men. You'll see why men act and behave the way they do, and you'll become the center of his world in the process. You'll pull him towards you with the same powerful strength of an industrial magnet. He won't be able to resist. Source of attraction is the simplest step-by-step program that'll make men go bonkers for you in ways you never thought possible. You'll walk away knowing more about him than he knows about himself. If you've ever wished for a magic wand when it comes to men, it doesn't get any better than this. Discover a sparkling new world of emotional connection, passion, love, honesty, and commitment. Years in the making, Source of Attraction will open your eyes and lift the veil, showing you what men truly think about you and why they act in certain ways. You'll know how to deal with men in any kind of situation, and the results will leave you speechless. Once inside, you'll uncover the selfie reversal technique, which will have your man doing what you ask without having to nag him. My checkpoints of love will give you the upper hand, showing you how to talk to him in a way he understands, resulting in a frustration-free environment. Or how about the air gap method? Discover how the air gap will have him chasing you all over the city. Use this technique and watch as you are flooded with his attention, something you hopefully won't mind. What you do with his attention is your call. Using the magnetic reversal method, you'll bust off the shackles and chains that hold him down. No longer will he fear commitment. In fact, he'll be so pumped to seal the deal, he may even want to do all the wedding planning himself. Next, uncover my crystal ball technique, where you get to see what he really thinks about you and the relationship. You'll understand why he acts in certain ways, and, this is really cool, he'll finally open up and talk to you something many men have trouble with. All of this complements the love cube. Can't figure out if he's interested in you? You'll know exactly how much he wants you with this simple technique. There is also the spark starter. If your recent relationship turned into an oil spill, this will set it all on fire, reigniting that desire he had for you. So think long and hard before you use these simple methods, because he may come back to you with lightning speed. What's great is that my fire starter method complements this. Inside, you'll discover exactly how to position yourself so that his love flame won't burn out anytime soon. You want to remain cautious though and not jump in head first, so that's why I have the safety net method. This will protect you from being used and broken. Inside, you'll discover how to turn up the heat without getting burned, and the best part is that it won't seem like you're coming on too strong. You'll leave him wondering what's going to happen next, and if you ever wonder about him losing interest, you'll appreciate the mind-bender technique. With this technique, he'll never experience a dull moment around you again, and it'll make him want to be by your side forever. If he's around you for any length of time though, you may need the truth detector / mirror test combo. This amazing technique will give you X-ray mind-reading abilities. No longer will you wonder if he's telling the truth or not. You'll know right away if he's being honest. But maybe you don't have problems with lying. Maybe the men in your life just flip-flop from one extreme to the other. So by using the ice cool method, you'll know what to do and say in tough times, and this will let you see if he's the right man for you. As you can see, this information is extremely valuable, but it's only a small part of everything you can have. Imagine the reaction of people in your life when they see you with that positive, intelligent, and confident man, who communicates honestly and is sociable with you and your inner circle, a man who has passion and makes you laugh. Think of how awesome it'll be to have this kind of man by your side, simply because you're his source of attraction. Imagine never having to deal with frustrating guy problems again. In a few hours from now, you can employ these techniques and watch your love life change before your very eyes. Everyone understands that emotion plays a major role in how we interact with each other. The National Academy of Sciences has even shown us this. So I want you to visualize how amazing it'll be to guide a man's emotions and never be frustrated or let down again. Besides, you aren't getting any younger. So what's it worth to you at this point in your life to have a lasting, loving relationship? How much is it worth to you to know that you can drive a man wild, all by following a few simple steps? How much is it worth to you to have the relationship you've always wanted? I hope you're not one of those women who takes advice from Cosmo or celebrities. Or worse, a woman who always has some unsolved problem in your relationship. Many women are stuck in this never-ending loop, following the same old pattern, hoping for it all to magically change. Heck, lots of women spend over $700 per year on dating sites, shoes, clothes, and other beauty items combined. But it doesn't help. These women don't understand what men truly want. See, men are like a clock. Once you understand their true desires, it's as easy as telling the time. Deep down, you know that what you've done in the past hasn't gotten you the results you were seeking. Maybe you feel empty and need something more, something to guide you through every step of the journey, something that stands the test of time and will be available to you wherever you go. Something that will work for you no matter your current situation, age, or job. I want you to experience the joy that other women are having. So in your mind, what would be a fair price for source of attraction? I know you'd have no problems paying $197 for this information. And honestly, that's a bargain to never again have to deal with problems and frustration surrounding men. I also want to make this affordable for you because I know what it's like to pay bills too. And because you understand the importance of this material and are ready to change your life for the better, it won't be $197. It won't even be $147. You can have Source of Attraction for a one-time investment of just $97. And if you act now, a 50% discount applies. So by taking action right away, you can have access to the entire Source of Attraction system for a ridiculously one-time low investment of just $47. And with it, you'll turn into a woman that guys just can't stay away from. Source of attraction will help you become that special woman guys cannot stop thinking about. The kind of woman that guys can't resist even if they try. And while you can have this for $47, it's not going to stay at that price forever. Like I said earlier, I may not even offer this for much longer, so my suggestion is to get it while you still can. And to make this easier for you, you'll receive the audio version of this program worth $147 free. And with hours and hours of audio to take in, you can listen and learn no matter where you are. But only if you act now, because it won't be available forever. I'm also throwing in a second gift to you called The Hidden Man, valued at $30. Inside, you'll travel deep into the dark and dirty secrets of the male mind. If you've ever wondered what he's thinking about, hint, you or your relationship, then this is a must-have. But that's not all. You can also have the Male Mind Vault report worth over $27 in value absolutely free. In it, you'll see firsthand what a woman went through and how she turned a breakup into a lasting marriage. It's like spying on a man's emotions without him even knowing. There's more though. You can have a third report worth over $25 in value absolutely free. The Love 101 bonus guide includes must-ask questions for your man. How to tell if he's right for you, signs you have found the one, techniques on opening up to each other, ways to resist cheating, and more. You can have all of this absolutely free with Source of Attraction, but only if you take action now. Simply click the button on this page, and you'll be taken to a secure order form where you can enter in your details. And when you add up the main course and extra gifts given today, that's over $290 worth of life-changing material for just $47. An incredible value, which I'm sure you agree with. Also know that your information is handled by one of the internet's leading payment processors, which has been in business for over 14 years. So you can feel safe knowing that you have my 100% satisfaction guarantee. Not only are your details secure and handled by one of the web's leading payment processors, but I am so excited for you right now, I'm going to do something a little crazy. If over the next 60 days you feel that Source of Attraction hasn't lived up to its promise for whatever reason, you'll be given a 100% refund. I know you won't refund because once you actually see and use Source of Attraction to its full potential, you'll see how valuable it is. But I want you to know that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Look, obviously what you've done before hasn't worked out. So know that from the moment you take action, you have a full 60 days to put everything to use and see the difference it makes in your life. Go ahead, click the button now and watch your love life transform itself into what it was meant to be. Oh, one other thing. Know that you really only have a couple of options at this point. You can flip a coin and hope for the best, or you can take action and make a difference. Option 1 is to leave this page knowing that you are missing out on the success other women are having, missing out on a future of dreams that could have been a reality, and you'll head back to the same old thing you've done before. But why would you do that to yourself? I personally don't like making myself miserable, but hey, it's your life. Option 2 is simple. You can have Source of Attraction right away and put yourself ahead of the curve, experiencing an entire new world of men. Removing the foggy confusion surrounding men and finally being able to make sense of it all without worry or frustration. Do you honestly want to be in a relationship that you're doubting, questioning, and hacking your way through? Of course not. So use everything Source of Attraction offers and you'll see how this simple step-by-step process makes you a man magnet. You have 60 days to use everything and see if it's right for you. Combine that with my 100% money-back guarantee and it's a no-brainer. Even a zombie could figure it out. Besides, your relationship issues won't magically fix themselves, and going at it alone is not the right way to go about your love life. Many women have lived the past few years in gut-wrenching relationships filled with regret and disappointment, relationships that just didn't measure up. Maybe this resembles your past, and I hope that's not something you want to go through again. But you don't have to go through that again because Source of Attraction works if you're single or married. You've witnessed it here in this presentation, you've seen and heard it with your own eyes, and science has shown us the proof. So now I have to ask you, how bad do you want it? By not taking action today, you're saying you don't care. And if that's the case, I really hope luck is on your side. Enough talk from me though. Shouldn't you be on the next page already? I'll see you on the inside. Okay. I understand if you're a bit skeptical, so let me answer some concerns you may have. You're probably wondering, is this safe? What about my personal information? It doesn't get any safer. It is 100% secure. ClickBank is an internet retailer and they've been in business for over 14 years. You can look them up yourself if you want. Also, your credit card statement isn't going to show that you bought Source of Attraction. It will simply show ClickBank for complete privacy. Can I use the program immediately? You'll get the program immediately. It's in both PDF and MP3 format, so you can take it with you wherever you go. How fast can I see results? Your life will be changed even by glancing over the material once. The sooner you apply the material, the sooner you can see results. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. What if it doesn't work for me? Once you apply the techniques learned, you'll understand that failure is slim. In fact, you'll be annoyed that you didn't start this sooner. You have 60 days to see what this can do for you. Is there customer support? Yes. You'll be provided with contact information on the following pages. Look, I want you to experience the joy that comes as a result of going through Source of Attraction. If you've ever been rejected by a man before, cried yourself to sleep, pulled your hair out, or had an upset stomach over a guy, why continue down the same path? In a few minutes from now, you can discover how to make a guy passionately crave you, read a man's mind as if you're telling time, know what he's thinking about you and your relationship, know how to behave in every possible situation, get him to do those things you just wish he would do on his own, have him be completely honest with you, get him to commit to you, never have him look at another woman again, bring about more communication and playfulness, and so much more. So don't waste any more time. Your fresh start on love begins right now. Click the button below, and I'll see you on the inside.